everybody, we're all going to get laid. You know what it's time for? It's Friday. Yeah, it's everybody's favorite day. I'm here on the main channel. Only 30 subscribers away from 800. And you know what would be funny is if all of these subscribers that I've had, if you all bought my novels, probably wouldn't have to do this gym shit anymore. But I'm recovering from whatever this was, a cold, so I may have to blow my nose a few times, wipe my nose. You put snot on the ball. I may have to blow my nose a few times, but it's Friday. It is the last Friday of April. Next week will be May 1st. We're deep in the spring. It's over a month long now. It's a beautiful day outside, which means it's going to get cold and rainy again for 2 straight days. That's all right. It's not snow. No blizzards in the forecast. Everything is fine and dandy. And right now, we've got Berea. We've got Berea here. That's all we need, really. Just some Berea. Berea, your appearance is great as always. Your constant and consistent support is fantastic. I got you here now. I wanted to check a couple of things out here. 1 second. First off, I just got to see, because, let me see. Okay, so it was a manga. Let me just see what these shows are. Let's see. All right. That's the manga. I don't care about the manga. All right. Oh, yeah, no, Pragmata is really good. Pragmata, we're having a great time. And let's see. Just trying to see. Can't get a straight answer. Yeah, it's really not. It's a very difficult game because of the fact that oh, okay. Yeah, it's a very difficult game because you have to keep jumping back and forth from trying to get the this didn't really help me out. Anyway, you got to jump back and forth between trying to get the robots hacked and attacking the robots. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into what the game is and what it can be, because the fact I haven't finished it yet and I have to save that for my final review. But right now I'm having a good time with it, and I am thinking of, live streaming it and trying to 100% it. So, still no release date on Elden Ring. So I am trying to do that because they do have, and I was saying this in my Let's Play. By the way, thanks for watching. They do have, oh, really? Grand Blue. That looks very interesting. I don't know if I want to get that one. But, yeah, that's the one. The Fantasy Relink, right? I don't know if I want to get that, but it looks like it's really good. Now, the thing is, it's already out. It was released. Is that the one? No, there's another one, right? The one that's coming out on the Switch too. No, but it is. Okay, it's the Relink. Can I? I don't know. Is it on the Switch too? Let's take a look. I only play Switch 2 games. I cannot do jack with this PC. I can't do jack with it. So the concept, doesn't really say anything. The concept of I tried to record. Right, okay. Okay, there is a, okay. Right, there is a beta test. Oh, maybe I should. I could jump in The beta test is 9 gigs. So only have a couple of days. Because if it just came out today, I'd want to do it today. But it's like too late. I mean, it's not too late. I could probably download it tonight while I'm playing through Village. And then maybe do something tomorrow. Because I am interested. I am thinking about doing that as it's been re-released. So I am considering playing that game. But it has to come. See, what Nintendo's doing right now is they're holding games off. I predict that that Elden Ring Tarnished Edition might be coming out in June or next month. And that Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave will be coming out in August. That's what I'm predicting. Because you're going to have Yoshi, nothing. Then you're going to have Splatoon Raiders, nothing. Most likely Dustbloods isn't going to be out till November. So they got to fill that in there. That's what Nintendo's doing now, is they're doing like a release a month. But we'll see. Whether or not they're going to have another Nintendo Direct, the big one that they've been talking about for the past few months, that's up for grabs. I have no idea. It's up for debate. They keep claiming another one's coming, but they've been claiming this for months now. So, Gaius! There he is. Jeez. Gaius, you can't disappear. I start sending out APBs thinking that you're dead. We were just talking. The one thing I could say about Grand Blue is the women are stunning. Now, what is Grand Blue? Is that a manga, anime? I'm kind of new to all of this. I finished watching the original series of Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, it's always great to see you guys. Well, listen, I hope everything is good with you. I hope your family is doing spectacularly. I hope you're doing spectacularly. Of course. I remember, folks, only 30 subscribers away here to get to 800. I don't even know if 800 would make that much of a difference. 1,000 would make a difference. 1,000 make a huge difference. Trying so hard. I'm trying so hard to be known by more than, I mean, of course, you guys are what are most important to me. Don't get me wrong. The people that have been here since the beginning, you're the best, especially all the way from the beginning. That's Gaius. You know, you guys are the best. And anyone that's new, that's just discovered me, look, it's difficult to find me. YouTube buries me. YouTube buries anybody that doesn't pay. But I am on YouTube Premium, so I'm paying $22 a month. Is that enough? Probably not. But yeah, no, we were talking about the release dates of the big titles. I think that Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, because that is a Nintendo exclusive. Yeah, no, they do. That's what it's all about. You got to buy them. I wouldn't even know what to spend the money on. If somebody said, here's thousands of dollars. One of the reasons why I don't go on stuff like Coffee or Patrons, because that also charges you, and I cannot pay for that kind of crap. Can't do it. Yeah, I'm totally cheap and poor, and I'm just free. I just post videos for free. That's what I do. Watch videos for $22, post videos for free. It's like trying to win on online competitive games. You got to pay for that too. But like I was saying, so I jumped into anime with Seven Deadly Sins. Now, I watched the whole season of Our Girl because it was absolutely ludicrous. That show is amazing. Then I watched most of Glepnir. I also watched Dragon Ball Z a little bit. I didn't finish Dragon Ball Z. Glepnir was incredible. And I don't mean just because of Claire. I mean, it was incredible. I didn't see the last episode, though. So that's when I just decided, all right, let's start really paying attention to this, because United States media is shit. There's no art here. So you got to go to other countries. And I know that my Italian brethren, I know that we have animation. And the United States had probably the best show that the United States ever had was The Simpsons. and then they destroy that. But when it comes to anime, it's just so available. So I watched Seven Deadly Sins and I enjoyed it, especially the women. I got to finish the original series. I know that there are other series and there's a movie on Netflix. I'm probably going to get to that later. But then I started watching My Hero Academia and I'm fucking obsessed with that show. I'm absolutely nuts for that show. And it's not just because of the women, but it's also because of what's going on and how it's building itself up. I know that Netflix has another series and a movie about My Hero Academia, and I want to get into those, but they never finished the original series. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do. It was so great. I loved it. But in fact, I keep doing the Froppy. Hero Academia is just amazing. I am Bakugo and Mineta. Combination of the two of them. That's me. Why I scream and yell all the time and I'm always angry and I'm just obsessed with women. But I got to season 5. And the thing with me is I like to watch the original Japanese voiceovers in comedies. Like when it comes to the comedic ones, I love the Japanese because they are tremendous. But when it comes to anything that's a little bit more serious, I like the United States English voiceover actors and actresses. And if I get used to the United States voiceover actors and actresses, I can't watch the Japanese. I just can't do it. Because the guy that voiced over All Might in the United States version is the same guy that did the voiceover for Zeus in Smite. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's just, I don't even know what it is. I can't even describe it. Because he's supposed to be the Japanese Superman, more or less. And his voice is like, ah, ah, ah. It's like every Japanese voiceover hero. It's like Natsu from Fairy Tale. It's like, it's all of them. The one from One Piece, like they all have that loud, high-pitched, screaming voice. And it just doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, so I go, Zeus from Smite. Because every time I hear him, I just go, my bones will strike with great fury. It's him. It's just great. And you don't realize how good these voiceover actresses and actors are, how versatile they are, until you hear him in anime. He's just, I loved when he first, in the first episode, when Midori first sees him transform to his frail state and he's just coughing blood. And all Midori can do is scream. It's just great. But that's my favorite series so far. I just absolutely adore that series. But they didn't finish that series. I would have definitely continued. But they didn't finish that series on Netflix. So I don't have season 6. And then I can't get season 7 in English. So I watched the first episode of season 7. There were 8 seasons. I watched the first episode of season 7 to completely go completely Japanese. Watched it entirely in Japanese, that first episode. And it was like a clip show. And I'm going, this is kind of weak. But not only that, I don't know where this is backing off of because I didn't see 6. The way I ended in 5 was that Izuki Deku was sitting there in his dorm with his classmates, just thinking about how lucky he was. And that's when it ended. And I was going, all right, well, you got 6 episodes or 6 seasons. I would expect 6 to be the next one. And then it went to the next one, and it was season 7. I'm going, oh, hold on. What did I miss here? Because I didn't see if he gained the ability of All Might's master. I didn't see, and I know that he has Black Whip, but that's about it. I don't know about all the other stuff and what else is going on. But that show was really, man, it hit hard. It was deep as hell, and it would make me laugh my ass off at times. That's my favorite so far. So now I'm watching Demon Slayer, and this one's almost got me teary-eyed a couple of times. I tell you, man, fucking Japan. I love that country. I absolutely love Japan. I keep saying I would never be able to live there. Never be able to live there. Where should you start? I don't. Well, I really think if you ask me, the first one I watched was Dragon Ball. I've seen a few. I've seen Dragon Ball Z, not all of Dragon Ball Z, as I mentioned. I've seen episodes, like the first episode. One of my favorites is the incredibly named I reincarnated as a witch and maxed out on slimes. It's just that's the name of the title, more or less. That one was really good because it talks about overworking and everything like that. More or less, slow and steady win the race. That one was just that one I watched only in Japanese. Miss Tabayachi's Dragon Maid is another one that drops me off my seat. I don't. It is so. Sometimes you got to watch those comedic anime. Demon Slayer is no, it's really good so far. It's really good so far. I've only seen 2 episodes, but sometimes you got to watch that over the top comedic, and you have to watch it in Japanese. The over the top comedic ones, like I said, Owl Girl. That one I caught every episode here on YouTube, and it made me laugh my ass off. It was just constant laughter because it is so over the top. That show is kind of a spoof on anime. It really is because it's just way too over the top. It's so hilarious. It goes from 0 to 10,000 miles per hour, 20,000 kilometers or whatever. No, it would be less. 8,000 kilometers in just like a boom, in just a split second. It will fucking make you laugh. And that's here on YouTube. You can watch all of them, I think. I'm not sure if they got rid of it yet, but oh my God. Another one of my favorites is Magical Senpai, just because the main character is fucking stunning and her clothes always come off. But that one too was really funny. There was one episode where they were tracking her down because the character that was her subordinate, if you would, he was getting jealous. I don't know how you wouldn't. She's fucking stunning, but he was getting jealous. So they were trying to track her down and what she was doing. It seemed as if she was with some shady guy. It turned out to be her future brother-in-law. That was pretty funny. I had seen, what was the other one I was just thinking of? Oh, My Dress Up Darling I like just because I'm in love with the main character as well. She's fucking gorgeous. And that one I saw one episode in English, and that's another one I can only really watch the English version of. But I think that's coming out on Netflix, so I can watch it. I think that one's only 2 seasons. The Don't Toy With Me, Ms. Nagatoro is another one that I've seen an episode and a bunch of little spots of. That one looks really sweet. That one's about a geek, nerdy kid who has a very popular but they call her a bully. I'm like, man, I wish I had bullies like that when I was in high school. I wish I had friends like that. Because like one of the ways she bullies him is makes him put her stockings on. Like she teases the shit out of him. But it's really just funny as hell. That also goes way over the top. But those are ones I've watched episodes. Seasons, yeah, I think start with the originator, man, Dragon Ball. When you start with Dragon Ball 2, you realize just how much influence it had, not just on Japanese culture, but video game culture. Because pretty much every character in that show you got from Street Fighter, like Street Fighter came from anything. Oh, yeah, definitely. If you have Netflix or Amazon Prime, they have a bunch of anime series that you can watch in English if you want to. As I said, for me, I would definitely suggest the comedies in Japanese and the serious ones in English. That's what I would suggest for me anyway. But if you watch the first few series or a few episodes in English, for me, it's hard to go to Japanese and vice versa. If I watch the first few episodes in Japanese, like the English ones are kind of like, it throws me off. And then I get used to reading the subtext and going, okay. And I don't the thing with the subtext, this is why I would like to learn other languages. The subtext doesn't really capture everything. Like the translations don't capture, language is not everybody started with English and then decided to branch up. Language is something that has evolved over time. For instance, English was not before Latin. Latin came first, and Latin influenced English. So it's hard really to gather what English is saying because there aren't certain terms that you would say in English that would make sense from other languages and vice versa. Japanese, like Chinese, like a lot of Asian languages, are very ancient. Yeah, no, I would be interested in watching that. That would be pretty interesting. I can tell you the original versions of them, the original jokes were the first, if you want to go Simpsons, now Disney Plus has all of them. You first off, you have to live in the United States to understand how this disgusting, debauched society works. So it makes more sense. But seasons 2 to 9 were the greatest bits of the United States television of all time. Of all time. You look at season 4, season 5, it's like a Led Zeppelin album. It's like, oh my God. It's like one hit after another. Episodes that were just extraordinary. So when you go through the original English version, you're really understanding exactly how terrible this society is, and you really get a better grasp of what they're trying to say and how hilarious that show was. After that, I don't know. Season 10 was still good. Yeah, no, season 10, it wasn't The Simpsons. See, here's the thing. The original Simpsons was a parody. It was satire, legitimate, straight up satire. So every character so like Homer represented, although he had a heart and he was a good father and he was a great husband and everything, he represented just the complete lack of understanding the ignorance of the United States civilian, the laziness, all that stuff. That's really what he represents. He was like the United States typical father figure turned up a few notches. Oh, yeah. Now, that episode, Homer's Enemy, is the greatest United States satirical episode ever made. Ever made. I still refer to that one for virtually everything. And even the thing that you have to understand about that one is in the end, not only does Frank Grimes die, but nobody cares. See, like that's how The Simpsons would hit you. Like you would just watch for the next joke and the next joke and everything, but you didn't really get the depth of what they were saying. And that's storytelling. That's why I love anime, because it's storytelling. Most of the United States cinema, television show is just shit happening for the sake of shit happening. Like, you know, YouTube video posts and content creators and everything. Like video games from the United States, it's just stuff happening. It's just filling spots with stuff happening. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But that one, no, it is. It's sad, but it makes you laugh. And that's true. Everything that Frank Grimes says is 100% true. You are what's wrong with America. You go through life, you do as little as possible, you earn off the backs of honest, hardworking people. In any other country, you would have been dead a long time ago. And that's 100% true. He's got you there, Dad. You're a fraud. You're a total fraud. It was nice to meet you. You know, like, it was just, it's so amazing how this guy, he's married, he's got 3 kids, he lives in a house. It's huge. He's got 2 cars, and it's like he doesn't even realize what he has. And he didn't even earn any of it. He just sits at work and does nothing. And here's this guy, he's killing himself, and he gets shit. It's like it's the United States. It's lobsters for dinner, 2 cars. I love this one. I live beneath a bowling alley and underneath and above another bowling alley. Wow, you're lucky. Like lives like between bowling alleys. Homer thinks he's lucky. It's but it's true. That's the United States. He does this thing. He goes into a what do you call? He goes into like a contest for children, and they give him the award for no reason, just because he remade They just give him the award. He's an adult, and his shit looks worse than what the kids put up there, and he wins the award. And everyone's like rooting for him. It's like, yeah, that's the United States, man. This place fucking sucks. I hate this place. I just can't take it anymore. But that's what it is. It's like somebody pointed out the one Homer Badman when he got accused for sexually harassing a young woman because he was just trying to get the Venus de Milo off her ass. And she turned around at the worst possible time. Somebody pointed out that in the end, the woman never apologizes. She got the media, she got everyone against him. And then when it turns out he was completely innocent, she doesn't apologize. She just says, I thought you were a monster, but your daughter said you were a good man. I guess she was right. No, you're both right. You know, like it's no apology. And that's what it's like here in the United States. You get completely destroyed because you didn't conform to the corporate addendum. And then when they find out that you really didn't do anything wrong, it's, well, that's great. Anyway, moving on, like nothing, there's no apology, there's nothing. Nothing. Worst place to live. This is the worst place to live. There are countries that are war torn. People can still live life. This place, you got nothing here. This place is disgusting. I mean, there are spots that are, yeah, no, I want to go back to Italy, man. I was watching Rogue Incursion, the Alien game. It's so funny. Stop me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong because I didn't watch all those stupid ass Alien movies, but how many Alien movies had Space Marines in them? Think about it, right? Alien, they were just some kind of like merchant freight. Alien 3, criminals. Alien 4 or Alien Resurrection, whatever the hell it was, mercenaries. Only one Alien movie had Space Marines. Now, I don't know about the spinoffs. I don't know about the cross thing with the Predators and all that dumb shit. All I know is, the so-called prequels, Prometheus and stuff, scientists. There is only one Alien movie that has Space Marines in it. And yet every single Alien video game, with very few exceptions, Space Marines. Very few exceptions. There was one with her daughter. Whatever, dude. Didn't care. That was the one where it was like a survival horror. But other than that, right? Like, guys, like I was saying, I can be an Italian citizen. I'm 100% Italian. My great-grandmothers never naturalized to the United States, never became citizens. So I can easily, alien isolation. That was the one. I can easily, not easily, but I can be an Italian citizen. And we've been working on it because I don't want to be here anymore. You can't have a family. You can't have a life. You can't live here. It's too expensive. There's no work. Everyone's a fucking self-righteous asshole here. I just can't take it anymore. I got 6 novels. I'm writing my 7th. You think if I wrote 7 novels in Spain or Italy, I would be fucking flat broke working in a gym? Just think about that. How far, like, let's say I live in Calabria, which is where I'm from, like where my family's from. How far is Rome? How far is Milan? Now, Milan wouldn't let me in the building, but what I'm saying is, how far is Firenze, Florence? And even if I couldn't there, how far is England? How far is Spain? How far is France? It's a car ride. It's probably closer for me to go from where my family originates from in Italy to where you are, Gaius, than it is for me to go see my sisters right now in the United States. It probably is. How long is Italy? 40 miles, 50 miles? I wouldn't even have to drive. The traveling infrastructure is a million times better than this shithole. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I can't, like, people, see, this is the reason why I always try to say this stuff, and I need more influence. I really do. Because when you listen to people, the so-called left-right bullshit, the United States is all fucking disgustingly liberal. There's no conservatism. Even the so-called conservatives are tattooed, drunken, pot-smoking freaks that some of which aren't even married. They certainly don't go to church. I got this one guy, I go to mass every Sunday, has this big fat fucking waist who wants to preach his bullshit concepts while he's smoking a joint, and he goes to mass like during the homily, if you're lucky, he gets the Eucharist and leaves. And he wants to preach like he's holier than thou. I'm going, and you got a, what's that on your, a Trump flag on you. Oh yeah, you're totally pious there, pal. Like, this is what you got. You just got brain dead jackasses here. There are places in the United States that there aren't that many people in them. There are states in the United States that are about the size of countries that have maybe 2 million people living in them. Maybe 3. There are states in the United States, like, look at it like this. New York State, California, Texas, Florida, right? These 4 states have about 150 million people in them, give or take. That is half the United States population. There are 46 other states that have 160, 170 million people, and they have the audacity to say this place is overcrowded. There are states the size of countries that don't even have 10 million people in them. And those states, don't forget, the United States is not a country. It acts like it is, but it's not. It's separate states. Every state has its own government, has its own Congress, has its own everything. Those states, so like the Congress in Washington, D.C. can pass a law and the state can say, nope, not doing it, and they can do their own thing. Like there are federal laws that can be passed, and all this stuff gets passed. You don't vote for anything. You don't vote for any laws. You can petition and you will not be listened to. Your vote means nothing. It completely means nothing. Trump never won an election. He's been the president 2 times. He's never won, not one election. Your state is dictated what side of the 2-party system it is. Doesn't matter what you vote for. If you're a blue state, you're going to get a blue governor. You're going to get a Democratic Congress mostly. If you're red, yeah, it's you see, that's the thing is like in most European countries, you can just vote out your government. In most countries, you can just vote out your government. Here, it's going to be this no matter what you do. This is all it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And on top of that, your medical industry is just there to experiment on you, kill you, whatever, make enough money off you. Doesn't matter. Your health means nothing. In order to get medical attention is so friggin' expensive, it's insane. And you supposedly has insurance, which by the way isn't free, unless you're either extremely rich or extremely poor. And if you are extremely poor and you get it forced on you, it doesn't cover really anything. Old people, retirees and everything, they have no real pension plan. You got to hope your company or your union, which is the closest thing to socialism, your union, and those guys are all so-called conservatives, the socialists, your union will protect you more or less. But even so, even if you go to the doctor, the dentist, the eye doctor, you're just going to get fucked in the ass. You're just going to get fucked in the ass. They don't give a fuck about you. Like I had something, I flossed my teeth the Wednesday before this past Wednesday, and tartar or something came out. I thought it was a part of my tooth. Just came off. I freaked out because teeth don't heal. And I called the dentist that worked on my upper right molar when the damn thing just came out from when I was a kid. Like whatever my dentist did to me when I was a kid, drilling all my molars and teeth and everything. One of the bits of work he did just fell out of my mouth like 3 years ago. So he fixed it and everything. And I looked and it looked like, in the mirror that it was gray or whatever. It's not, it's completely fine. I don't know what fell out. I think it was just plaque or some shit. But whatever the case, if I went there, because I canceled the appointment, if I went, it would cost me like $150 for him to look at it, maybe do something to it, and that's it, because I don't have insurance. I have insurance, but it wouldn't be covered by him, and he's the only dentist I trust. So I have to pay for everything. And it's not cheap. Not even close. Yeah, no, it's terrible. What my mother has to go through because they gave her what's considered asthma, the doctors gave them to her. Listen, doctors have been killing my family members for years. My aunt had a pain in her leg after a fatty tumor was removed years before. They told her she had pancreatic cancer and made her take pills, which they said were working, and they decided to up the dosage and eventually kill her. My godfather, my uncle, my mom's younger brother, he was put in the hospital during the Omicron bullshit. He originally had a bacterial infection based on a blockage in his heart that they needed to put a stent in. Then they changed it, said he had COVID. They hooked him up with tubes until he died. I can go on and on. Like, you go to the hospital here, you're pretty much signing your death warrant. Unless it's something like stitches, you're pretty much signing your death warrant here. years ago. It was, listen, we had a lot of family drama with it. I miss him. I loved him to death. He was my godfather, but he had his own personal issues and he alienated most of us. It relationship with him for years until he passed. And the worst part about it was his ex-wife didn't want us anywhere near him. It's like, wait, you're the ex-wife, right? So until he passed. And the worst part about it was his ex-wife didn't want us anywhere near him. It's like, wait, you're the ex-wife, right? So, but that was like years ago. But like I said, they'll kill you here. They don't care. They want you dead here. That's what it is. The food is poison. Your water is poison. You need purifiers like you can't imagine. Air is poison. Everything here is poison. And you wonder why there's so many. I got friends. I have my one friend right now who, no, he never took care of himself, don't get me wrong. But he's waiting after about 3 months of them saying that there may be something like he took a test that said that he needed to get checked out, get a colonoscopy to see if he's got anything cancerous in his colon and anything. That was like 3-4 months ago. Still haven't found out. Today he's supposed to find out. I haven't heard from him. I'm just hoping that he's all right. But his parents both gone because of cancer. I got friends who I work in a gym. You work out every day. All my friends have cancer or have had cancer. One of my friends in his 80s got a blood test. They said, oh, by the way, you have Hodgkin's. Like just out of nowhere. He's got to do this like chemo where they just stick needles in his stomach for hours and they just inject him with chemo like once a week. Now, the guy's he's a monster. He's 86 years old. You wouldn't think he was older than 60. His wife is Spanish, by the way. She's from Spain. She's from Spain, my friend Clarissa. And she's another one. She broke her wrist years ago, just, whatever, like nothing. And it's funny, too, because she kept her name. And she makes him go to church and everything like that, because God bless, I love you, I love my Spanish Roman miners. I love you guys. You're so devout to the Roman traditions. Even though you don't speak Italian, you speak Latin, and you're total pious. You didn't do the Protestant reform bullshit. You guys, you're the best, man. I always thought that if God forbade me to marry an Italian woman, I would go with a French woman. No, Spanish woman. Forget that. But everything, like all my friends, and then they're like their spouses will have cancer. I'm like, what is it, contagious now? Everything here is cancer, cancer, cancer. It could be cancer. It could be. I went to my dad's best friend he grew up with. One of the few people my father didn't push away. But anyway, my dad's best friend, that we've known, if we would call him uncle. He went to my sister's wedding a few weeks ago. All this was stitched up. Why? Skin cancer. You will see anyone over the age of, even my other sister's got like a notch in her back because she had a little bit. Now she tells them to take everything off. But my aunt, everybody that I know, you'll see like, they'll look like Frankenstein's monster. Stitches. Why? Oh, they said that could be cancerous. Everything's cancer here. Now, this is the worst place to live. No other way around it. This is the worst place to live. Explain to me how China is so evil. Oh, by the way, so liberal. Yeah, China. Okay, whatever you say about. But China is so evil and they mistreat their people. How is it that 80%? Yeah, because the Cologuard just tells you that you have to get something checked. But yeah, no, it's like, and the reason is, well, a lot of these young people, because they think that fucking life is Animal House, that life is American Pie, that life is just get laid as soon as you possibly can, get drunk, do drugs. They live 150,000 miles an hour. And, at 35, they realize that they have depression. We got a lot of depression here because all they do is get medicated. That's it. That's all anyone does here is get medicated. It's just drugs. The United States is just one big pharmaceutical drug factory, and every doctor is a drug pusher. Steroids, antibiotics for viral infections, which makes no sense. Marijuana, that's all they give you. Everything is steroids. They kept giving my mother steroids because she had bronchitis they misdiagnosed, which then required her to have a procedure involving getting crystallized mucus removed from her bronchial tubes because they never treated the bacterial infection that gave her bronchitis. So she had to have that, polyps removed because of the medication they gave her that wasn't supposed to be given to her as long as it was. These are doctors now. And ever since then, she has a hard time smelling and tasting because she's always phlegmed up. And she's getting the polyps are growing back in her nasal cavity again. So she's probably going to have to get that burnt out again. And now she has osteoporosis, brittle bone disease. And they said, well, it's because of the smoke. I said, she stopped smoking 40 years ago, 30 years, whatever it is. It's because of the fucking steroids. You give steroids to a 50-plus-year-old woman. What do you think is going to happen? I know the United States, not to offend anybody, thinks that everybody's gender fluid and there's really no difference, but there's a huge difference between a 50-something-year-old woman and a 20-something-year-old man, physically, whether people want to admit it or not. And when you give women that age steroids, which they do all the time, you're making their bones brittle. Same thing with my grandfather, who was in the 70s, 80s, they were giving him steroids. That's all they do. It's just drug pushing here. You know, this is, if you can survive the United States past your 30s, it's like I was saying about China's so evil, but 80% of 1 point whatever billion people, now I know not most of them are in their 20s, whatever, but in a society, at least more than the people that live here in the United States, 80% of people in their 20s, early 20s, own homes in China. You'll be lucky if you can move out of your home by 50 here. Just in case you're wondering. You better make sure you marry somebody really wealthy, or you're going to be stuck living with mommy and daddy, or just mommy or just daddy for the rest of your fucking life here. That's what you have here. Okay? Unless you move to a dead, nothing state with like 3 or 4 million people, but the amount of money you make there, completely reflective of where you live. You have to bring a big city salary from another state over in order for you to be anything useful in terms of being able to live on your own and everything in that other state. So now you have your family living in a big city, like say like Detroit or New York City or whatever, and you live like in fucking Utah, hundreds of miles away. They need to take planes to see you. Like this is life here in the United States. You can't have kids. You can't get married. You need to be at least a 6-figure salary type. And the people I say, why don't you go on online dating? Yeah, online dating, number one, is way too expensive. Number two, the women, at least the women anyway, if you want to meet a woman on that shit, you got to live the life like my cousin. You got to have money. You got to go traveling. You got to have a 6-figure salary job, which he doesn't, but he inherited money. And he's worked. Don't get me wrong. He works, you know. But you have to live that life where, you know, hey, it's me with the Maharishi. Hey, here's a picture of me with the Dalai Lama. Like, you have to live that life for any woman on an online dating site to give a rat's ass about you. And the best part about it is those women will say, like, I got a 6-figure salary job. It's all right, you got a 6-figure salary job. What the fuck you care what I'm making, honey? And that's another thing, too, is it's almost like a job site where you have to tell them you don't have to, but it helps if you tell them, like, your salary, your job background. Like, am I trying to meet a woman here or am I trying to get a job? So, yeah, this I can't stand this place. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of things. Any dating site, it's like, maybe not so much YouTube, but with any dating site, you go on and everybody likes you until you pay. Then nobody likes you. Like you go on, it's like, so-and-so winked at you. Such and such wants to send messages to you. And you go, oh, okay. And you check, it's like what I did with Match. And you check it out and everything, and they'll talk for a bit, and then they just disappear. Or they just don't respond. There was one time there was this young woman that I thought was really, oh my God, she was Sicilian kind of, so it was kind of Italian, Catholic, great figure, real cute and everything. And she just kept responding to me, and then she just stopped. I was like, all right. She lived kind of far though, but I was saying, oh, see, she does exist. But yeah, no, this is the fucking worst place. I've been trying to get out of here for so long. And I used to be the exact opposite when I was a kid. I used to be like the type that when I'd see the red, white, and blue, I'd go, "Oh yeah, America's the greatest," and all this other shit. Then I tried getting a job here, and you just see how fucking awful this place is. What's going on with the world? How the United States just, hey, look, there's somebody to bomb. Let's just bomb. We got to spend all these billions of dollars. We got to make more billions of dollars on insurance fraud. You know, it's so, this place is just so disgusting. I just can't fucking, and people still defend this place. They still defend this place. It's like, what are you defending? You're defending pure horror. Do you have any sympathy or empathy for humanity? No, you don't. It's the greatest place in the world. Really? How? How is a place of degenerates, criminals, traitors, pussies, how is a place filled with the worst forms of life the best place to live? Yeah, they do. They do. They do. Well, we got to stop them from killing. They're not killing anybody. They were hanging out. You're the ones killing people. Who's stopping you? Because why? The rest of the world doesn't want to do this anymore. The rest of the world has had it. The United States wants to try to be so forward thinking, but still make money off oil and steel. The rest of the world has moved on. That's why I laugh when I see these people at my place of work or people I talk on the street. Oh man, the way this world did, what's wrong with the world? The world's a beautiful place. It's this fucking place. It's you. You're the problem. The world's fine. I love this planet. I love the people. Yeah, it's got problems. Absolutely. Everywhere you go, rich assholes are still dictating people's lives. No doubt about it. But I'll tell you this. You can live a life. You can get married. You can have kids. And that's really all that matters to me. I didn't have to be rich and famous. When I was a kid, maybe. I just wanted to get married and have kids. And I wanted to send my kids to Catholic school. That's all I wanted. Especially get married. Obviously, I've got a thing for culture when it comes to the ladies, but that was all that mattered to me. And you can't have it. I can't have it. So I do everything I can. This channel was like step one. Here I am. Here I go. Uncle Mo, thank you, ma'am. Simpsons quote. This channel was the start of this. This is what's wrong with at least United States media. And then all those videos were getting blocked. So then it was, this is what's wrong with United States video game media. And then I can't play those. I can't play Sony. I know this, the Saros game people are saying is good. I'm sure it's not. It's a Sony exclusive. It's a third-person shooter. I'm sure there is a lot of cutscene crap going on. And I'm sure the gameplay only really requires 2 or 3 buttons. But for some reason, you have to use 9 or 10 of them, whatever they are. And I'm sure it doesn't even require a tutorial. But I'm not going to watch any walkthroughs to prove my points because fuck Sony. I hope you rot in hell. You are the worst company out there. And the fact that the United States is still too stupid to stop buying PlayStations shows just Sony PlayStation selling consoles at $700 fucking dollars. What are they selling? What are you trying to buy? Another Last of Us re-release? That's all you're getting. Are you that interested in seeing Wolverine cry? Like, what are you trying? What are you paying for? For what? They make nothing. Their exclusives suck. Their consoles suck. Their hardware sucks. Their peripherals suck. Sony sucks. And yet the United States will not let that company eat shit. They won't do it. I love some people. I'll stick with PC gaming. Yeah, it's only about $1,500 to get a PC. Gaming PC. $1,800. Just get a fucking Switch too. Why is there even a conversation? Get a fucking Switch too. $450. Remember when people were freaking out how expensive that was? Oh, $450. You just spent $500 on another fucking PlayStation 5, which had 0 exclusives. 0 exclusives. Like the PlayStation 4. 0 exclusives for 3 years. Everything on the 5 until like last year, you could have gotten on the 4. It's the difference. Yeah, that's why, like I was talking about Splatoon Raiders, and it finally got a release date. It's going to be in July. Will I get it? I don't know. Probably not. Yoshi's secret book that was announced about 2 months ago. I got to take a fucking leak like you can't imagine. But that I'm probably not going to get either. I'm waiting for Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. I'm predicting June. That's what I'm predicting. I got $100 on my eShop, my online store. I'm ready to go. Give me a fucking release date. So like I was saying, I really got to take a piss. I want to go on and on and on, but I got to go to the bathroom. So we're going to be back next week. I'll see you all then. Thank you all for coming on. I'm going to have so much more for you soon. Don't you worry. Please subscribe if you're new here. We got to get to 800. We got to get to 1,000. We got to get to 10,000, 100,000, 10 million. You got it. You too, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I will see you all in a week. Take care.